We'll head to Mount Maunganui now, where we're joined by the Herald's Deputy Political Editor, Adam Pearce, to get the latest on the recovery operation there. Adam, good morning.
Morning, Ryan.
So what's the latest? What do you know?
Well, we're still here, obviously, at the cordon. They will have had their 7 a.m. karakia at the site. Also, the geotech assessment that happens at 7 o'clock every morning. Obviously, you will have heard from Barry on the show this morning. I spoke with Superintendent Tim Anderson last night. They've obviously got some more safety measures, some new equipment in there that will allow them, hopefully, to keep working and have no further postponements. There's still a steady stream of people coming to have a look at the board, where we've got such lovely messages for those who are missing and their families, and obviously a range of bouquets of flowers. I in fact just had one woman come up to me and say that they'd been on holiday and have just come back home to Tauranga and the Mount to find such a tragedy. So there is obviously still a real sense of grief and sadness here.
What about anger? I've been speaking to people who say there's a bit of both in the community. Some people, you know, are solely focused on the recovery, obviously, and everyone is, but also there's a growing sense of why wasn't more done, or what more could have been done. What are you picking up, Adam?
Yeah, well, some people have voiced that to me, and I think, you know, this is the hard balance between wanting to ask those questions and get those answers, while also really focusing on the recovery, acknowledging the fact that we still have 6 people unaccounted for. And you know, you spoke with Mahe Drysdale earlier this morning, and you know, we had that story yesterday around a 111 call that had been referred to the council. Initially we had the Chief Executive saying that they had no record of it, and that was quickly corrected. And I think it's those kinds of things that probably frustrate people here when they're not getting accurate information, and this is potentially where the council needs to be a bit more transparent and provide a bit more information. Obviously, I think most people appreciate that an independent review is the best way to get the most accurate series of events of what happened last week. However, when you have information that needs correcting, particularly from the council, they might need to come to the party with a bit more information.
Adam, can you take your reporter hat off for a second and put on your political hat? I saw your piece on Luxon, you know, how he goes in a crisis. We, obviously judged Jacinda Ardern a hell of a lot on her response to the terror attacks, COVID, key with earthquakes, etc. How do you think he's handling that aspect of the job?
I think he's been pretty well received here. I mean, obviously, as I noted in my piece, you know, he has a certain style of wanting to talk to as many people as he can, and I think people do appreciate, particularly in times of crisis. I think where the rubber meets the road will be how the government responds to all the need that's out here, and it's so varied, right? We have businesses in here that haven't been able to operate for 5 days now, but then we also have communities that are cut off, roading networks that are completely smashed. So we should be an update on that later this afternoon with probably Christopher Luxon and Mark Mitchell, the Emergency Management Minister, and how they're able to support that need will really define how Christopher Luxon is considered in these moments of crisis.